Welcome back to Figuring It Out with Catfish, my brand new channel. In the last video, or short, was going to put a handle in this little knife here. Well, we got that finished. I should have recorded that, but me being me, I forgot to do that. The handle material we used on this is maple burl. It's one of my favorite woods. It can be kind of hard to find in some areas, but you can order it online from like Jan's Knife Supply and other knife supply companies. People ask me all the time, how do you do the finish? Well, it's very simple. What you'll need isopropyl alcohol or rubbing alcohol and alcohol ink. When I first did this, I was hoping it'd turn out to be blue. Well, that didn't quite work out. It turned out to be a green color. And the wood on the handle comes in these forms right here, known as scales. This right here is just a rough scale I cut, and it hadn't been trimmed, finished out, be used as scales yet. But there's what it looks like. A knife like this right here is what they call a full tang handle, which looks like this. First thing you'll do after you cut your blade out is you'll profile it into a blade that looks like this. Same thing as if you forge your blades. You're going to profile it out to where it can be used. Before you heat treat, always drill your pinholes before you heat treat. Because if you don't, it's going to be extremely difficult or impossible to get your pinholes. And the glue we use is JB Weld 5-minute epoxy. Now keep in mind, anytime you're dealing with any kind of a two-part adhesive, casting resin such as Alumilite and others, is it can be affected by humidity and temperature. What I do on all my blades, whenever I glue them up, before I glue them, I always clamp them with C-clamps. But be careful and not over clamp them, because you don't want to squeeze all your glue out. And what I do to make sure my glue is dry is I'll save my leftover. This right here is some leftover epoxy I have from another project. You can get hold of the stern stick. It's in there and it's hard, so you know your glue should be good to go. If you question it, let it set for a couple of hours just to make sure it's set up, because you do not want to try and shape a handle with uncured epoxy. It'll get all over the place, gum your belts up, and make a really, really big mess. Alright, now we're going to get to the good part y'all been waiting for. We're going to finish this handle out. And whenever you use alcohol ink and rubbing alcohol, always wear rubber gloves. Because once that stuff gets on your fingers or on your clothing, it's not coming out. Not anytime soon anyway. What we're going to do is going to lay out a paper towel here. This is some I already mixed up. We're going to take our dauber, soak in ink, and just kind of run around the thing and knock off some of the excess. And then we're going to apply it to the handle. Make sure you get all the exposed wood. Now, alcohol dries pretty fast. And this technique can be used on many different projects. See how that's turning that green color? That looks pretty cool, I think. Just keep applying it on there until you get it to about the shade you're looking for. Make sure you get all the areas. Now right here on the front part of the blade, we got a little bit there. We're going to take a little bit of paper towel, come here and wipe that off, because that will stain your metal. I know that sounds weird, but that does happen. And if you got any blotchiness like this right here, just take your paper towel and lightly rub it off. Now it's going to knock down, it's not going to be very shiny, it's going to be kind of a dull look. But that's okay, don't worry about it. We'll let that set for a little bit. You'll let some of that alcohol evaporate off. Since I'm wearing rubber gloves, I can't feel it. I'm just going to touch my arm there. Okay, that feels pretty good. So we're going to go for another coat. Just like the first time. Just rub it on with your dauber. Now you can use a sponge or a sponge stick, kind of like what you get at the hardware store for applying wood stain. However you choose to do it, it's totally up to you. A lot of people do this finish on guitars, like the old Gibson Sunburst guitars and all that good stuff. We're going to wipe that ink off again. where's puddling. We'll probably do this 1, maybe 2 more times. Because you can do this as many times as you want. Alright. Just like we did last time, just go all the way around it. Make sure you get an even finish on it. That's just so neat how that turns out. Alright, we'll take a paper towel again. I've got some extra paper towel in there beside me. You always want to make sure you got more paper towel than what you need when you're doing this. Because like I said, this can get messy. And believe me, I've made some messes doing this. Alright. We're going to wipe it off, make sure you don't have any more wet blotchy spots. Alright, that looks pretty good. Now, if y'all have any questions about this, please feel free to, drop a comment. If y'all got any suggestions on future projects, please let me know, and maybe we can figure it out. Alright. Let's see that right there. Okay, that feels fairly dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these rubber gloves off here, because my hands sweat in these things. It's kind of a yucky feeling. Alright, set them aside there. Grab another paper towel. We'll come up through here, make sure we got all that off the blade. Because when you're doing this, attention to detail goes a pretty good ways. Because you want your stuff to not only look good, but you want it to feel good in the hand. Alright, that looks good. Alright, next part, this is my favorite part right here. Sealing it up. What I prefer is Birchwood Acacia True Oil. You can use tongue oil, teak oil, boiled linseed oil. Just whatever you got handy, whatever works best for you, and whatever you like the best, go for it. Just because I use it does not mean that you have to use it. It's strictly up to you. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a little dab on our finger. Just like so, because it don't take a lot. So this is one of the things, a little bit goes a long way. We're going to put it right there on the handle, and we're going to rub it in with our finger. Just like so. You'll probably have to do this a few times on the same side, because certain types of wood soaks this up faster. Now see, that right there is with the first application of oil. This right here is what it looks like without it. Looks pretty neat. Alright, we're going to rub this in just like we did on the last one. Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and use some paper towel here. Now on this right here, I just poke a little pinhole in the top of it with like a little finish nail or something. Pour it a little bit out. We're going to rub it in, just like we did on the other side. Now make sure you get the bottom of the tank and up here on the spine. Because you want to make sure you get a nice even coat of this. Because this right here seals the wood up. Some people use polyurethane after this. There's nothing wrong with that. I've been doing it on the last few, and it turns out pretty nice. Now if you use a urethane top coat after this, what you'll want to do is take some 1000 grit sandpaper and knock the gloss down. And in between applications of your clear coat, whatever you choose to use, strictly up to you. You don't even have to use it if you don't want to, but that's just a little extra thing I like to do, just to give it a little bit of shine and pop. You want to make sure your clear coat is fully hardened before you knock it down with 1000 grit sandpaper. You can even use 4/0 steel wool. Now what I'll do on this right here is after this oil sets, I'll hit it with a 4/0 steel wool. And then I'll come back over and do my clear coat top finish. If y'all hear a lawnmower in the background, you'll just have to excuse that. That's my neighbors down there mowing the yard. They decided to fire up the lawnmower about the time I started videoing. Just enjoy having neighbors. Alright, we're going to hit it again. That is so neat how that happens. I mean, look at that. Like magic in a bottle. Well, a little brown bottle. It's obviously not something that you buy at the adult beverage store. You can get Birchwood Casey at most gun shops, sporting goods stores like Academy, Bass Pro, Walmart. I think I paid $6-7 for this. That little 3-ounce bottle goes a long ways, guys. Just because it's meant for gun stocks, you can use on any wood projects that you want to do an oil finish on. I've been using that for probably the last 8 to 10 years, and I like the results of it. If you get it on your fingers, you'll get a little on the sticky side, but that's no big deal. A little hot water and Dawn dish soap take care of that. Alright, this right here is what it looks like afterwards. In the next video, we're going to do a clear coat, and believe me, you're not going to want to miss it. If you enjoy these videos, please hit the subscribe, share, comment, and that thumbs up button. Help us grow this channel. Let's see where this goes, and let's figure it out with catfish. We'll see you next time.